The Fire Nation castle looms, a testament to formidable strength, its silhouette etched against the sky. Banners emblazoned with the Fire Nation crest dance fiercely in the wind, proclaiming dominion. The castle stands as a symbol of power, its presence commanding the vast landscape. An imposing fortress, the Fire Nation castle radiates authority and unyielding control. A card game is in progress inside Azula's room. Azula's intense focus is a mask for a subtle menace. Ty Lee radiates cheerful energy across the table. Cards shuffle with playful flicks of Ty Lee's wrist. Azula's regal presence is undiminished, even in play. The game becomes a silent battle of wits and wills. Sunlight floods Azula's room, highlighting the stark contrast of her controlled space. Ty Lee's perpetual motion fills the room as she bounces with playful energy. A mischievous spark ignites in Ty Lee's eyes as she proposes, "Let's go tease Zuko." Azula's cool composure barely hides a flicker of resentment. "Zuko doesn't treat me like his sister." In the castle corridor, Zuko's figure is a storm of fury, each step echoing his growing rage. His fists clench, sparks of fire dancing between his fingers, a visual echo of the turmoil within. Shadows lengthen and twist around him, mirroring the dark path his anger threatens to lead him down. Each breath is heavy, a choked sound that barely contains the inferno blazing in his heart. His eyes, narrowed and intense, reflect the burning desire for retribution that consumes him. The corridor seems to shrink around him, amplifying the pressure of his self-imposed isolation. Zuko storms into Azula's room, fury blazing in his eyes, hands raised to unleash a torrent of fire. His face contorted with rage, he prepares to incinerate Azula's bed, a symbol of his pent-up anger. Suddenly, a figure emerges from the shadows, stepping directly into Zuko's path, a beacon of serenity. Queen Ursa appears, her presence a stark contrast to Zuko's burning rage, an unexpected intervention. Her eyes, filled with a mother's love and sorrow, meet Zuko's, halting his destructive advance. The room hangs in tense silence, the air thick with unspoken words and the weight of familial conflict. In Azula's opulent yet sterile room, Ursa stands before her, a storm of regret and resolve brewing in her eyes. Azula sits rigidly, her composed facade beginning to crack under the weight of unspoken truths. Ursa's voice cracks the silence. "Azula, your father, our marriage. It wasn't born of love. It was a transaction." Azula's denial rings out, sharp and desperate. That's not true." Her world begins to shatter. Shadows writhe across the walls of Azula's chamber, the dim light casting a pall over the scene. Azula stands unyielding, her posture rigid as tears carve paths down her face. Her voice cracks, a raw, wounded sound piercing the silence. "This is not nice, Mother." Ursa's words echo, cold and unyielding. In the Fire Nation, nobody is nice. The shadows seem to deepen, mirroring the growing despair in Azula's eyes. A single tear falls, a silent testament to the harsh reality of her world. Azula's room is silent, save for her ragged breaths. She retreats, cornered by her mother's words. The weight of the revelation crushes her. She curls into herself, a fortress broken. Tears stream down her face, silent testimony to her pain. In the dim light, Azula weeps, utterly alone. Inside Azula's room, Zuko's eyes blaze, his face contorted with rage, a storm of fury unleashed. He hurls a stone, a physical manifestation of his boiling anger, aimed directly at Azula. The stone flies, a silent messenger carrying the weight of Zuko's pent-up frustration and pain. His voice cracks with bitter accusation, the question hanging heavy in the air. "Are you happy now?" The room echoes with the unspoken consequences, the shattered remnants of trust and familial bonds. In her room, Azula's hands ignite with nascent flames, ready to unleash destruction. The room crackles with dangerous energy as Azula prepares to strike. Suddenly, Ozai appears in the doorway, his presence commanding and absolute. The flames in Azula's hands falter, the raw power diminishing before her father. Silence descends as Ozai's shadow looms, silencing not just the room, but Azula herself. Inside Azula's room, shadows dance as Ozai's presence dominates, his intensity palpable. Ozai seizes Zuko's hand, his grip firm, a silent command for honor. The controlled power in Ozai's eyes meets Zuko's gaze, a battle of wills. A father's expectation weighs heavily in the tense, intimate space. Zuko's face is a mask of conflict, torn between duty and defiance. The room holds its breath, the air thick with unspoken words and impending decisions. Azula stands motionless, her expression a rigid mask of apprehension, bracing for the storm. She anticipates Ozai's wrath, her inner turmoil masked by a stoic facade. Ozai's face shifts, his fury giving way to a look of unexpected sympathy. A profound love replaces the rage, softening his features. The transformation is complete, a shocking display of paternal affection. In her room, Azula's inner turmoil is palpable as she paces, her eyes flashing with repressed fury, a storm brewing within her. Ozai stands, an imposing figure of serene authority, his posture radiating absolute control as he observes Azula. The air thickens with unspoken tension as father and daughter confront each other, wills clashing in silent defiance. Ozai's voice cuts through the charged atmosphere, a command masked as guidance. "Azula, calm yourself. Rage clouds judgment," he continues, his words a calculated strike. It is a hindrance on the path to true peace. Ozai's face is an impassive mask as he enters Azula's room, his presence filling the space with unspoken tension. He extends his hands, revealing a picture, his gaze fixed and unreadable. The photo depicts a tender moment, Azula as a baby cradled in Ozai's arms. His words cut through the silence. A birthday gift from a loving father. Azula stares at the picture, her expression unreadable, a storm of emotions brewing beneath the surface. The room hangs heavy with unspoken words and complex feelings between father and daughter. Zuko enters the throne room, the air thick with unspoken tension. Ursa stands regal, her expression unreadable in the formal setting. Azulon sits on the throne, an imposing figure of power and authority. The throne room awaits, heavy with expectation and unspoken commands. A silent confrontation looms, the fate of the kingdom hanging in the balance. In the throne room, Ursa's face is a study in disappointment as she confronts Zuko, the ornate throne a cold backdrop to their fraught encounter. Ursa's disappointment hangs heavy in the air, a palpable weight between mother and son. The silence amplifies the tension, broken only by Ursa's sharp words. "I am disappointed, Zuko," Ursa begins, her voice laced with a mother's hope and a queen's expectation. Her words cut deep. "I had hoped you would outwit Azula with an intelligent plan." Zuko stands rigid, absorbing Ursa's critique, the throne looming as a reminder of the power he must wield. Azulon, a figure of immense power, sits on his throne, his presence filling the throne room with palpable tension. His eyes, cold and commanding, fixate on Zuko, an unspoken challenge hanging heavy in the air. "Zuko, you will kill the Avatar," Azulon commands, his voice echoing with the weight of his decree. His gaze pierces Zuko, demanding unwavering loyalty and strength. "Do not show weakness. Do not betray me." Azulon's chilling warning hangs in the air, or you will face consequences beyond your comprehension. Azula sits at her desk, bathed in the warm glow of candlelight, her sharp focus cutting through the shadows. Her brow furrows, a storm of thoughts brewing beneath her composed exterior as she delves into ancient texts. The large leather-bound book reveals faded symbols, hinting at forgotten lore. Each page whispers secrets of the Fire Nation's past, illuminating the path to power. Candlelight dances across the pages, bringing the ancient script to life. Her eyes scan each word, seeking an edge, a hidden advantage in the annals of history. In Azula's dimly lit room, dust dances in a single ray of sunlight, illuminating the secrets hidden within. I trace the faded ink, my fingers ghosting over brittle parchment that whispers tales of a forgotten past. The words leap out, revealing a tragic misunderstanding that shaped Fire Lord Sozin's destiny. Truth, suffocated by propaganda, gasps for air, challenging the Fire Nation's narrative. Azula stares at the open book, her brow furrowed in intense concentration, the room's silence amplifying the weight of hidden truths. The shocking revelation hits her. Roku framed Sozin for their father's death, a secret etched in ancient text. A visible tremor runs through her, betraying the storm of emotions swirling beneath her composed exterior. The air crackles with unspoken tension as Azula grapples with the betrayal and deceit unveiled before her. Her eyes narrow, a flicker of dark determination igniting within as she internalizes the profound implications. In the grand throne room, Zuko and Azula stand as statues before Azulon, their faces masks of rigid control. The air crackles with unspoken tension, a silent testament to the mission's immense pressure. The throne looms, a symbol of power that dwarfs them both, emphasizing the stakes of their task. Their shared goal, capture Aang, the Avatar, their destiny intertwined with his fate. In the throne room, Azula opens her mouth, a strange flicker of unfamiliar emotion crossing her face. She struggles to articulate a point about sympathy, the words catching in her throat. Zuko watches her, his expression hardening with skepticism. "Peace? That's a dream, Azula," he retorts, his voice echoing in the vast hall. In the grand throne room, Azulon's raised hand cuts through the air, silencing Azula with a chilling decree. His cold gaze sweeps across the room, each stone seeming to absorb the weight of his displeasure. Azulon's voice, a low growl, echoes ominously, each word a hammer blow against the tense silence. The threat of exile hangs heavy, a dark cloud looming over Azula, a consequence of unmet expectations. Every detail, from the towering throne to the icy air, emphasizes Azulon's unquestioned authority. The throne room holds its breath, awaiting Azula's response to the king's chilling judgment. Admiral Volgo's imposing figure fills the throne room, his stride confident, each step echoing power. A sadistic smile slowly curls across Volgo's face, revealing a hint of the darkness within. His eyes gleam with cruel intent, promising pain and domination to all who dare oppose him. The air thickens with palpable menace as Volgo's presence dominates the once regal chamber. Shadows dance around him, enhancing his sinister aura as he surveys his domain. Every gesture, every glance from Volgo speaks of ruthless ambition and impending doom. In the grand throne room, Volgo stands, his posture exuding confidence as he addresses the unseen ruler. His hands are clasped firmly behind his back, a subtle display of control in the face of challenge. His voice echoes through the silent chamber, each word precise and calculated. Volgo's gaze remains steady, betraying no hint of doubt as he speaks of the Avatar's elusiveness. "The Avatar is proving difficult to find," he admits, a hint of impatience coloring his tone. "Perhaps sending children to play at this task was not the wisest course," Volgo concludes, the throne looming. In the majestic throne room, Volgo bows deeply, his resolve a stark contrast to Azulon's imposing figure on the dais. "I promise to intensify my efforts, Your Majesty," Volgo declares, his voice echoing through the vast chamber. Azulon's gaze sweeps over Azula and Zuko, a chilling challenge hanging in the air. "See that you do," Azulon commands, his words a heavy weight upon the siblings. "Azula, Zuko, consider yourselves in competition," Azulon announces, setting the stage for rivalry. "Only one of you will earn my favor," Azulon concludes, his decree sealing their fates in a fierce contest. Azulon, a figure of immense power, sits enthroned amidst the echoing grandeur of the throne room. The ornate walls seem to vibrate with the weight of his authority, the air thick with anticipation. His voice, a thunderous decree, booms, filling every corner. Whoever captures Aang first will become the new Fire Lord. With the loser facing dire consequences, he finishes, his words hanging heavy in the tense silence. Under the fiery sky of the Fire Nation, Zuko's jaw tightens with resolve as he commands the bustling docks. Sailors swarm around him, a hive of activity beneath his watchful gaze. Ursa stands beside him, a silent sentinel, her expression an enigma. A subtle nod from Ursa offers veiled support, a silent promise in the chaos. The naval ship looms large, a symbol of power and ambition against the horizon. Final preparations unfold, each movement precise, each task a step towards an uncertain future. The salt-laced wind howls across the Fire Nation docks, a symphony of impending conflict. Ursa faces Zuko, her eyes reflecting a blend of maternal worry and fierce resolve. Her voice cuts through the wind, a mother's plea laced with command. "Zuko, do not let Azula win." Ursa's words hang in the air, heavy with expectation and the weight of family legacy. A glint of steel underlies her concern as she adds, "If you succeed, you'll have access to my riches." The docks stand silent, save for the wind, as destiny's currents pull Zuko toward his fate. Against the backdrop of the Fire Nation docks, Zuko stands rigid, a statue carved from years of suppressed emotion. His arms extend slightly, a silent question and a desperate need hanging unspoken in the charged air. Ursa approaches, her face etched with a mother's gentle concern, a beacon of warmth in his storm-ridden world. "Can I have a hug?" Zuko asks, his voice barely a whisper, a plea lost in the vastness of his longing. As Ursa's embrace tightens, a subtle tremor runs through her, a darkness stirring beneath the surface. Her smile twists, revealing a chilling grin that betrays a hidden villainy, shattering the illusion of maternal love. Azula commands the Fire Nation docks, her presence a storm of focused energy against the backdrop of looming warships. Her movements are precise, each action a calculated step in a grand, fiery design. She prepares her ship, the embodiment of ruthless efficiency and unwavering resolve. Her gaze burns with fierce determination, reflecting the flames of her ambition. The air crackles with anticipation as Azula's ship prepares to sail, carrying her dark purpose across the sea. On the Fire Nation docks, Ozai stands tall, a subtle warmth softening his gaze as he addresses Azula. The ocean breeze carries the scent of salt and coming battles, whipping around them. Warships stand ready, their dark hulls reflecting the ominous sky, hinting at the battles to come. His voice firm, yet laced with paternal care, Ozai speaks to Azula, his heir, on the brink of war. "I will love you even if you lose," Ozai declares, a rare moment of vulnerability amidst the looming conflict. Volgo stands at the fore, a figure of dark command against the fiery horizon of the Fire Nation docks. The air vibrates with anticipation as Volgo prepares his army and ship for the coming war. Dark sails fill the sky as formidable warships converge, answering the call to join Volgo's fleet. A vast, intimidating force gathers, a testament to Volgo's power and the Fire Nation's might. Sunlight pierces Volgo's ship, illuminating dust and highlighting his hulking form amidst the opulent chaos. Volgo's fist clenches, knuckles white, a vein throbbing, revealing the barely contained fury beneath his surface. The suffocating fog of Volgo's arrogance fills every inch of the room, a silent declaration of his power. "I will not lose to little rats in the corner of my cage," Volgo vows, his voice a low, menacing growl. At the Fire Nation docks, the wind fiercely whips around Azula, carrying the scent of salt and distant battles. Her hands are clasped tightly behind her back, a rigid posture betraying inner tension. Her sharp eyes scan the horizon, searching, planning, her gaze as relentless as the sea. A subtle flicker of uncertainty crosses her face, a rare glimpse into the turmoil beneath her composed exterior. She stands at the edge of the world, ready to embark on a mission of vital importance. Determination hardens her features once more, masking any doubt as she prepares to hunt Aang. Inside Azula's ship, the air crackles with anticipation. Ty, Lee, and Mai enter, their expressions unreadable. Their arrival brings a sense of strength to Azula. Azula watches them, a flicker of something unreadable in her eyes. The ship feels charged, ready for any challenge. Azula's ship surges forward, slicing through the endless blue expanse of the open sea under the vast sky. Waves crash against the hull, a constant rhythm accompanying their journey north. The sun glints off the water, creating a dazzling, shimmering effect that stretches to the horizon. Sails billow in the wind, driving the ship onward with unwavering purpose. The distant horizon beckons, promising new lands and unknown challenges. A lone bird circles overhead, a symbol of the freedom and vastness of the ocean. Inside Azula's ship, a gentle drizzle creates a cozy atmosphere. Azula sits, an aura of command surrounding her. Beside her, Mai exudes a calm, detached demeanor. Ty Lee's ever-present smile brightens the room. The warm light casts a soft glow on their faces. The gentle rain outside enhances the intimate setting. Sunlight fills Azula's ship, dust motes swirling as Zuko, Mai, and Ty Lee gather around a pie show table. A game paused. Zuko speaks with earnest hope. "I hope that one day, the Fire Nation can truly be at peace with the world." Mai's desire for tranquility is palpable. "I want things to stay simple, just, quiet." Ty Lee bubbles with enthusiasm. "Ooh, I want to open a yoga and acrobatics studio." Zuko smiles slightly. "That actually sounds kind of nice, Ty Lee." Mai retorts, "Too much energy." Ty Lee, "But that's what makes it fun." On Azula's ship, Mai's eyes are clouded with memory, a world of unspoken stories swirling within their depths. Her voice, barely a whisper, carries the weight of past passions and present sorrows, a delicate echo in the ship's cold interior. "Zuko used to be my whole world," she confesses, the words hanging in the air like a fragile, fading dream. The ship's stark metal reflects the distant, longing look in her eyes, amplifying the sense of isolation and regret. Each word is a brushstroke, painting a portrait of a love now lost, a connection severed by destiny and choice. The silence that follows is heavy, pregnant with unspoken truths and unresolved emotions, a testament to love's enduring power. Inside Azula's ship, Ty Lee claps her hands, her aura buzzing with infectious excitement. Her palpable enthusiasm radiates, filling the room with an almost tangible energy. Ty Lee's eyes gleam, alight with dreams of spectacle and wonder. "Wouldn't it be amazing to be a circus manager?" she asks, her voice full of delight. Her imagination takes flight, envisioning dazzling costumes and incredible acts. A vibrant vision of circus life dances behind her sparkling eyes. On her ship, Azula gazes at the horizon, a storm of determination brewing within her. Her intense gaze betrays a flicker of vulnerability, a softer emotion beneath the iron will. The weight of her ambition is a heavy cloak, yet hope glimmers in her eyes. She envisions a world brought to order, a yearning for peace hidden beneath her fierce exterior. Under the cloak of a stormy night, waves thrash violently against the ship, a symphony of nature's raw power. Ty Lee squints against the driving rain, her gaze fixed on a distant threat amidst the tempest. Zuko's ship emerges from the shadows, illuminated by flashes of lightning, a predator stalking its prey. Maintaining a calculated distance, Zuko's ship shadows them, a silent promise of impending conflict. The glint of metal betrays the preparation of cannons, signaling the calm before a deadly storm of fire. Inside Azula's ship, tension hangs heavy as night envelops the vessel. Ty Lee's urgent warning pierces the stillness, a silent alarm. Azula, with eyes like chips of ice, reacts instantly to the unseen threat. A flicker of determination hardens her features, casting shadows. She moves with calculated speed, a predator sensing prey. Azula rushes towards the ship's front, a storm brewing within. The open sea churns under a night sky ripped apart by lightning, the darkness absolute save for brief, violent flashes. Amidst the raging storm, Zuko's ship is tossed mercilessly, a small silhouette against the overwhelming power of nature. On a separate vessel, Azula stands defiant, her figure radiating cold determination against the tempest. With a ferocious cry, Azula unleashes a searing bolt of lightning, a deadly strike aimed directly at Zuko's ship. The lightning strikes its mark, a blinding explosion of light and energy, as Zuko's vessel is engulfed in chaos. Under the cover of night, the open sea unfolds. Lightning splits the sky, briefly revealing a distant ship. A tense silence as Azula's ship targets Zuko's. Explosions rock the water as Azula's ship narrowly misses its target. The near misses amplify the deadly tension. Under the cloak of night, the open sea is ablaze as Azula's fiery assault crashes against Zuko's ship. Flames consume the front cannons, the ship's defiant roar turning into a desperate cry against the relentless attack. The inferno casts long, dancing shadows on the turbulent waves, each flicker a testament to the escalating conflict. Sparks fly like dying stars as the battle intensifies, fueled by years of sibling rivalry and deep-seated animosity. Amidst the chaos, Zuko's ship stands as a beacon of defiance, battling against the overwhelming firestorm unleashed by Azula. Volgo arrives in the Earth Kingdom. His eyes, sharp and wary, survey the landscape, alert for any sign of treachery. He spots King Mao, a figure of regal stillness, waiting patiently near a secluded grove, a silent promise of secrecy. Their eyes meet across the distance, a subtle flicker of recognition passing between them, sealing their clandestine pact. A subtle nod from Volgo, barely perceptible, acknowledges the king, confirming their shared intent. King Mao returns the gesture, a mirror of understanding, as they prepare to discuss matters hidden from prying eyes. Volgo enters the throne room, his footsteps echoing off the polished stone floor. Light streams through the high windows. He strides forward, confidence radiating from his posture, his eyes fixed on the throne ahead. With a sweeping gesture, Volgo begins to outline his daring plan, his movements sharp and precise. "I propose a bargain," he declares, his voice resonating in the vast space. His gaze hardens as he lays out the terms. Military aid hangs in the balance. In exchange for conquering the island of Flutera, Volgo finishes, his words echoing in the tense silence. King Mao sits on his jade throne, an inscrutable mask upon his face. Before him, Longfeng's voice is a silken whisper, loaded with hidden intent. "Your Majesty, I implore you to reconsider," Longfeng urges, his words hanging heavy. King Mao responds, his voice firm. "I remain unconvinced, Longfeng." Longfeng presses, "A closer examination will reveal the strategic advantages." Tension coils in the throne room, thick with unspoken agendas and veiled threats. Under the vast sky of the Earth Kingdom, King Mao extends his hand, a gesture of power and partnership. Before him, Volgo accepts the alliance, sealing their fates with a mutual gaze. The Earth Kingdom fleet stands in the background, a silent promise of strength and unity. A new era dawns as the alliance between King Mao and Volgo is solidified. On Flutera Island, bright sunlight illuminates the tranquil waters, unaware of the impending doom. Suddenly, Volgo's forces descend, their shadows falling upon the unsuspecting, peaceful water elementals. A serene paradise is disrupted as chaos erupts, the elementals caught completely off guard. The invasion begins, shattering the tranquility of Flutera with the harsh sounds of conflict. Innocence turns to fear as the water elementals face a threat they never anticipated. Flutera Island burns. Houses and shops become infernos, their structures reaching towards the smoke-filled sky. The invasion unfolds with ruthless efficiency, consuming the vibrant landscape in flames. Skeletal remains of homes stand stark against the fiery backdrop, monuments to a fallen paradise. Smoke billows, casting long, dark shadows that dance with the licking flames across the island. Destruction paints a grim picture as the heart of Flutera Island is torn apart. The air crackles with the sound of collapsing structures, a symphony of ruin echoing across the land. The Flutera Castle dungeon reeks of mildew, its stone walls slick with despair. Torches flicker, painting the scene in shadows. Volgo, a giant in spiked armor, towers over Water Emperor Shangi, who is chained and defeated. Shangi's torn robes hint at a prior struggle, his regal bearing now marred by the dungeon's grime. Volgo's cruel grin gleams in the torchlight, a predator reveling in his captive's misery. The metallic rasp of restraints tightening echoes as Volgo increases Shangi's discomfort. Shangi grits his teeth, a silent defiance burning in his eyes, refusing to yield to Volgo's torment. In the depths of Flutera Castle's dungeon, Shangi battles against unseen forces, her face a mask of fierce resistance. Her inner resolve begins to shatter under the relentless pressure, cracks forming in her determined facade. With a final, desperate surge, she succumbs to the overwhelming power, her body racked with strain. Her voice, hoarse and strained, breaks the silence, hinting at secrets unwillingly revealed. "Aang is in the Water Nation, completing a quest," she gasps, the weight of her disclosure hanging heavy in the air. In the cold, dark dungeon of Flutera Castle, Volgo grins, his eyes glittering with dark ambition. His ambition burns fiercely as he anticipates the moment to confront Aang. He stands tall, fueled by the unwavering belief that he will be the first to challenge Aang. Volgo's confidence radiates, knowing no limits as he prepares for his destined confrontation. Under the cloak of night, Azula, Mai, and Ty Lee arrive on a tropical island shore, their figures silhouetted against the dark. Exhaustion etches lines on their faces, a stark contrast to the island's serene beauty. Their eyes scan the surroundings, a mixture of wariness and desperation in their gaze. The gentle lapping of waves fails to soothe their weary spirits. A silent agreement passes between them, a shared understanding of their dire situation. Hunger gnaws at their bellies, fueling their determination to survive on this unfamiliar shore. The trio steps into the tropical island pub, its medieval style a stark contrast to the surroundings. The pub's warm light spills out, offering a refuge from the island night. Laughter and music fill the air, creating an atmosphere that is both lively and welcoming. The trio pauses, taking in the scene before stepping further into the heart of the pub. The promise of adventure and camaraderie hangs heavy in the air as they enter. Inside the tropical island pub, the humid air is thick with the mingled scents of salt and cheap liquor. Azula and Mai are seated at a weathered wooden table, their expressions unreadable as they hold their drinks. Perched on a stool, Ty Lee radiates an almost blinding cheerfulness, a stark contrast to her companions. "Oh, no thank you, I don't drink alcohol. It interferes with my chi," Ty Lee declares, her aura undimmed. The tropical island pub buzzes with laughter and clinking glasses, a haven of joy amidst the island paradise. Suddenly, a piercing siren shatters the cheerful ambience, its shrill cry slicing through the festive air. The joyous sounds abruptly cease, replaced by a chilling silence as the islanders freeze in fear. Panic erupts as the realization dawns. The island, once a sanctuary, is now under attack. Torches blaze as Zuko and his Fire Nation troops storm into the tropical island pub, their faces masks of vicious determination. The sudden intrusion cuts through the lively atmosphere, casting long, dancing shadows across startled faces. A wave of heat and tension floods the room, signaling the calm before an impending storm. Every eye in the pub is now fixed on Zuko, fear and defiance mingling in their expressions. Flames devour the thatched roof of the tropical island pub, casting a hellish glow on the chaos within. Patrons scream, their faces contorted in terror as they scramble over overturned tables. Desperate figures claw and shove, each fighting for their life amidst the growing inferno. Thick smoke billows, choking the air and stinging eyes, adding to the panic. The acrid smell of burning wood fills the nostrils, a grim reminder of the pub's imminent collapse. Flames consume the tropical bar, casting an eerie glow on the dark jungle night. Azula, Mai, and Ty Lee explode from the inferno, smoke swirling ominously in their wake. Their escape is a desperate flight into the dense, shadowy jungle. Zuko appears, his face a mask of grim determination, relentless in his pursuit. He vanishes into the jungle, his silhouette a promise of inescapable justice. Under the relentless sun, Zuko's blade flashes, a mirror to his burning rage on the tropical shore. His sword rises high, poised to strike, a symbol of vengeance gleaming against the azure sky. Every line of his body screams with pent-up fury, a storm about to break over Azula. Hatred hardens his features, transforming him into a figure of merciless intent. The air crackles with tension as he prepares to unleash his attack from behind. Steel sings in the sunlight, a deadly promise hanging heavy in the tropical air. On the tropical island, Ty Lee's eyes widen in alarm, sensing a threat lurking just beyond their awareness. "Azula, look out!" Ty Lee cries, her voice sharp with urgency. Azula, initially radiating confidence, pivots sharply, her expression shifting from assurance to a flicker of fear. The briefest glimpse of fear is quickly suppressed as Azula's face hardens into a mask of steely resolve. With practiced precision, Azula assumes a fighting stance, her body coiled and ready to strike. She prepares to confront the unseen danger, her eyes narrowed, a silent promise of battle etched on her face. On a tropical island, Azula's eyes blaze with maniacal glee, reflecting the wildness of her intent. A blinding bolt of lightning erupts from her fingertips, aimed directly at Zuko with lethal precision. The forest is momentarily bleached white, the raw power of the strike illuminating every detail. Long, grotesque shadows dance wildly as the air crackles with untamed energy. On a tropical island, Zuko reels back, the lush greenery a stark contrast to his pain. He clutches his wounded shoulder, his grimace reflecting the failed attack. The vibrant island seems to mock his thwarted efforts. Defeat hangs heavy, etched into Zuko's determined yet frustrated features. On the open sea, Azula's ship cuts through the waves as the sun ascends, casting a fiery glow on the horizon. Mai stands stoically at the ship's edge, her gaze fixed on the distant horizon, an unreadable expression on her face. Ty Lee practices acrobatic maneuvers on the deck, her movements fluid and graceful against the backdrop of the vast ocean. The vibrant colors of the sunrise reflect in Azula's intense eyes, a silent promise of power and conquest. Morning light paints long shadows across the trio, cards clutched tight. Unspoken tension fills the air. Each player avoids eye contact, lost in their own hands, the silence amplifying the weight of the night. The small table becomes a battleground of unspoken words and lingering glances. A heavy quiet hangs between them, thicker than the salt air of Azula's ship. The game continues, a fragile shield against the shared memories that threaten to surface. The ship emerges from the mist, its silhouette stark against the dawn. The hull groans and creaks as it grinds against the unknown shore. Seagulls cry overhead, their calls echoing across the desolate beach. A new land unfolds, promising both peril and possibility. The rising sun casts long shadows, hinting at secrets yet to be discovered. Azula stands on the shore, a landscape of the unknown stretching before her. A subtle declaration forms on her lips, a whisper of triumph in the salty air. Her eyes scan the horizon, hope flickering within them like a newly lit flame. The end of a long journey seems within reach. "We have reached an important destination," Azula proclaims, her voice echoing with purpose. Volgo's imposing fleet advances, slicing through the frigid waters towards the icy shores of the Water Nation. The landscape unfolds, a stark panorama of ice and snow stretching to the horizon. The ships are getting closer, their dark forms contrast sharply against the white wilderness. The air is still and biting, promising a harsh welcome to any intruders. Volgo's fleet stands as a symbol of impending conflict on the silent, frozen shores. The unforgiving terrain of the Water Nation awaits, ready to test the invaders. Amidst the bustling Water Tribe village, Aang and Katara stand poised, ready to begin their waterbending practice. Aang's movements are fluid, yet lack precision, as he attempts to mimic Katara's graceful waterbending forms. Katara offers patient guidance, her voice calm against the backdrop of the lively village. Villagers move about their daily routines, their laughter and chatter filling the air around the waterbending students. Aang's determination is evident as he focuses intently, striving to master the art of waterbending under Katara's tutelage. Azula's ship soars over the icy mountains, a dark silhouette against the blinding white. The Water Nation looms, a fortress of ice and snow carved by relentless winds. Jagged, snow-capped peaks pierce the sky, a testament to nature's raw power. Frozen valleys stretch out below, silent witnesses to the approaching storm. The air crackles with anticipation as Azula's ship closes in. In the dimly lit war room of Azula's ship, shadows dance across maps of the Water Nation spread on a large wooden table. Azula stands, a figure of cold calculation, her fingers tracing the coastlines with a strategist's focus. The faint light from the lanterns casts an eerie glow, revealing the intensity in her focused eyes. Her mind races, plotting the capture of Aang, each move precise and ruthless. The fate of the Avatar hangs in the balance, dictated by Azula's unwavering resolve and tactical brilliance. Under the cloak of night, Volgo's forces descend upon the Water Tribe village, shattering its tranquility with a brutal surprise assault. The air crackles with the sounds of clashing steel and desperate cries, as the once peaceful settlement is engulfed in chaos and destruction. Fires erupt, casting flickering shadows that dance across the faces of warriors locked in fierce combat, their determination etched in every line. The village, now a battlefield, echoes with the thunderous roar of war, signaling a night of devastation and despair for the Water Tribe. Aang and Katara, faces set, stand as Volgo's armored soldiers lay siege to the Water Tribe village. Steel clashes, war cries echo, and elemental powers surge in a desperate fight for survival. Aang weaves through the chaos, airbending soldiers off their feet with powerful gusts. Katara's precise waterbending creates walls of ice, halting the relentless invaders. The Water Tribe's defense stands strong, but the fight is fierce, and victory uncertain. Icy mountains pierce the sky, a biting wind howls, carrying snow like whispered secrets across the frozen peaks. Azula stands regal and unyielding, a stark contrast to the brutal, unforgiving landscape. Opposite her, Zuko mirrors her stance, a silent challenge in his posture against the backdrop of swirling snow. The wind screams, a symphony of nature's fury mirroring the unspoken conflict brewing between them. Tension crackles in the air, as palpable as the frost that clings to their clothes, a storm about to break. Amidst the icy mountains, Azula and Zuko stand poised, determination blazing in their eyes, the crisp air crackling with unspoken tension. They assume their fighting stances, a dance of fire and fury about to unfold on the snow-covered ground. Flames erupt from their fists, casting a warm, orange glow against the stark white landscape. Azula's fingertips crackle with raw power as lightning dances, briefly illuminating the towering peaks. The Agni Kai begins, a battle of wills and elemental forces set against the majestic backdrop of the mountains. The mountains echo with the promise of conflict as fire and lightning clash in a deadly dance. Icy winds lash at Aang as he faces Volgo, the fate of the water tribe hanging in the balance. Aang stands firm, his focused gaze unwavering amidst the swirling snow. Water begins to swirl around Aang, a vortex of raw power responding to his command. Volgo sneers, his arrogance a shield against the rising storm of Aang's waterbending. The villagers watch, their breath held captive, as the two figures prepare to clash. In the shrine's gloom, dust motes swirl in a sunbeam as Azula examines the ice-covered pedestal with a severe gaze. Azula's gloved hand glides across the weathered surface, her focus sharpening as she seeks hidden mechanisms. With a sharp, precise movement, she triggers the ancient mechanism, her expression unreadable. The ice shatters and cracks, revealing a Fire Nation scroll untouched by time, hidden beneath. The artifact is revealed, bathed in the lone ray of sunlight, a relic of a forgotten age. Azula, a solitary figure against the icy peaks, is buffeted by a fierce wind, mirroring the storm within her. The desolate, snow-covered landscape stretches endlessly, reflecting the hollowness that gnaws at her soul. Lost in thought, she reflects on the recent revelations, questioning her unwavering loyalty to the Fire Nation. The wind howls like a mournful cry, accentuating Azula's isolation and the weight of her internal conflict. Her silhouette, stark against the blinding white, embodies both strength and vulnerability in this moment of doubt. Aang stands in the heart of the Water Tribe village, a solitary figure amidst the devastation. Victory's taste is bitter, the once vibrant village now a ruin, a testament to war's brutality. Smoke hangs heavy in the air, mingling with the sharp scent of shattered ice and lost hope. Silence echoes where laughter once danced, a haunting reminder of what has been lost. Sunlight streams into the Water Tribe healing hut, illuminating woven mats, medicinal herbs, and casting a soft glow on the walls. Aang lies prone on a raised platform, his breathing shallow and labored, hinting at a deep-seated vulnerability. Azula stands beside him, her posture unyielding, her face an inscrutable mask concealing her true intentions. The air hangs heavy with unspoken tension, a silent battleground of mistrust and veiled agendas. Azula's voice cuts through the stillness, her tone measured yet laced with an undercurrent of something else. "I come to offer you a truce, Avatar Aang." A flicker of sincerity crosses her face as she declares, "I too desire peace," a declaration met with silent skepticism. Zuko arrives at the Water Tribe village, his gaze sweeping over the unfamiliar surroundings and faces. A flicker of disbelief dances across Zuko's face as he spots Azula, seemingly at peace among the villagers. Conflict stirs within him, suspicion clouding his features as he struggles to reconcile Azula's presence. Zuko narrows his eyes, his guard instinctively raised as he attempts to discern Azula's true intentions. A light breeze whispers through the Water Tribe village, where ice glistens under the sun. Azula and Zuko stand near the village edge, dressed in Water Tribe attire. They gaze over the vast, icy landscape, a silent understanding passing between them. The crisp air bites, reflecting light brilliantly off the endless expanse of snow. A quiet moment hangs in the balance, amidst the stark beauty of the frozen world. At the helm, Azula, Zuko, Aang, Katara, Mai, and Ty Lee stand united as the sun rises, painting their faces with hope. The ship surges forward, its sails billowing, a testament to their unwavering resolve to restore balance to the world. Azure waves crash against the hull, each drop echoing their determination and the magnitude of the journey ahead. Their collective gaze pierces the horizon, a silent promise to face whatever challenges lie in wait. In the war room, Ozai stands amidst the ominous glow of the holographic map, his face a mask of simmering rage. News of Azula's betrayal hits him like a physical blow. A muscle ticks in his jaw as his control begins to fray. Ozai's fists clench, his body coiled tight. A guttural growl rumbles deep within his chest, The air crackles with barely contained energy, the room temperature rising with his fury. Ozai vows revenge, his eyes burning with a cold, calculated fire. Against the fiery horizon, Azula arrives, a silhouette of ambition. Her eyes burn with fierce resolve, ready to confront her father. The air crackles, charged with the weight of her impending challenge. The earth trembles, feeling the force of her will. In the Fire Nation throne room, Azula's voice echoes, challenging the very foundation of Ozai's rule. The throne room transforms into a stage for rebellion as Azula's gaze burns into Ozai, unwavering and resolute. "I denounce your tyranny, father," she declares, her words sharp and clear, cutting through the heavy air. With fierce determination, she proclaims her intent. "I intend to bring peace," promising a new era. In the opulent Fire Nation throne room, Azula and Ozai stand poised, the air shimmering with raw, untamed power. The tension is thick, a suffocating blanket woven from ambition, defiance, and the bitter scent of betrayal. A silent battle for supremacy unfolds, each glare a calculated strike, each breath a challenge. Generations clash, ideologies shatter, as the throne room becomes the epicenter of a brewing storm. In the heart of the Fire Nation capital, silent citizens stand, their faces etched with a mix of hope and deep anxiety. Azula moves with calculated grace, a dance of fire and precision unfolding before the hushed crowd. Each flicker of flame mirrors the collective aspiration for freedom, burning brightly in the capital square. Her every step embodies the promise of liberation, a beacon of hope in the tense atmosphere. The air crackles with anticipation as Azula continues her deliberate, fiery display of power and control. The crowd watches, their breaths held captive by the mesmerizing dance of fire and destiny. In the Fire Nation throne room, the dawn's light spills, revealing a defeated Ozai, his reign of terror brought to an end. Azula stands tall, her silhouette framed against the hopeful light, the throne room's dark history now a canvas for change. The throne room, once echoing with fear, now absorbs the quiet promise of a new era. The light washes over Ozai, a fallen symbol of tyranny, as Azula's shadow looms, marking a transition of power. The throne room breathes, the silence pregnant with the untold stories of a nation on the cusp of rebirth. Azula stands before the vast Fire Nation capital, banners snapping in the wind, a symbol of her iron will and burning ambition. Her voice booms across the expectant crowd, each word a calculated spark to ignite their fervor. "People of the Fire Nation, today marks a new era," Azula proclaims, her gaze sweeping over the masses. An era of justice, of equality, and of unparalleled prosperity for all, her words echo, a promise cloaked in fire. Jubilant citizens throng the streets of the Fire Nation capital, faces glowing with renewed hope. Banners emblazoned with the Fire Nation emblem flutter proudly in the invigorating breeze. The air vibrates with the rhythmic pulse of drums and the thunderous roar of cheers. A symphony of celebration erupts, marking Azula's triumphant rise amid fervent patriotism. In an open field bathed in sunlight, Azula, Zuko, Aang, and Katara stand united, a symbol of harmony. Mai and Ty Lee join the Avatar, completing the image of newfound peace among the nations. The field sways gently, a subtle dance orchestrated by a soft breeze, mirroring the group's tranquility. Their collective presence radiates hope, a beacon of unity against the backdrop of endless sky and grass. In an open field bathed in sunlight, Azula's smile radiates a newfound serenity, a beacon of inner peace finally achieved. The gentle breeze dances through the tall grass, mirroring the lightness in Azula's heart as she stands tall and centered. Her eyes, once filled with turmoil, now reflect a deep sense of calm and purpose, a destiny embraced with open arms. The field stretches out before her, a symbol of the boundless possibilities that lie ahead on her path of goodness. A subtle, knowing smile graces her lips as she acknowledges her transformation, a journey from darkness into light. Azula stands as a testament to the power of change, a force for good ready to make her mark on the world.